Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Farhan Abdul Rahman.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Fajri Najwan bin Muhammad Nurizan.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Amjad bin Cik Azlan and today I'm going to present about my
HUSM Medical Record Center. Introduction. Record management can be defined as a field of general administrative management dealing with the achievement of the economy and productivity in the production, preservation, use, and disposal of an organization records over its entire life cycle, and the making available of the information it contains in support of the organization business. Record management involves setting policies and guidelines, assigning roles and authorities, and combining business structure and process with records management. It is the obligation of organizations to maintain record to increase income, control costs, provide confidentiality, teach effectively, and learn effectively. Integrated Record Management System or IRMP are one of the communication programs responsible for the effective and economic management of organizational records. This software is important for understanding the organizational and institutional environment needed for a functional records management and program to be developed. Detail of the organization. We have chosen to do research about the Hospital University Science Malaysia Medical Record Center. The history of HUSM. The desire to establish a medical faculty in University Science Malaysia has existed as early as 1974. But the plan was delayed until it was officially announced in early 1979 by the Deputy Prime Minister at the time. The project was then named the Medical Complex Project. In accordance with that decision, the government has decided that the complex for the School of Medical Science to be built at Kubang Keren and the hospital that was under construction since 1977 by the Ministry of Health was taken over by USM. This is the organizational chart of HUSM. The type of organization. HUSM Medical Record Center is a half private and half government institution. Type of business activities. HUSM Medical Unit Record has been operated simultaneously with the establishment of HUSM in 1983. In the beginnings, the department has only 5 staff, including 1 officer and a clerk. The early location of the department is at the ground floor of the hospital. General Office and Record Library fully operated at the new location on November 2002. The amount of 538, 900 active folder and non-active folder had been transferred in the time of 4 months. Till December 2003, the number of records that have been handled is about 550,000 with average daily percentage of 5,000. Branches and subsidiaries. Up until 2017, the Medical Record Unit at HUSN have 64 active staff comprising of Deputy Director, Senior Assistant Director, Senior Assistant, Executive Secretary, Assistant Administrative Director, Senior Assistant, Assistant KUP, and 22 Assistant, Right Auxiliary Operation, and Auxiliary Operator.
Next is types of records. Records are information created, received, and maintained as evidence and information by an organization or person in pursuance of legal obligation or in the transaction of business. For example, like final reports, email confirming an action or decision, spreadsheets like showing budget business, and the photograph or maps of field missions which need to be kept as evidence. So let me tell you what the types of records. Firstly is corresponding records, next is accounting records, and also the miscellaneous records, progress records, personal records, legal records, historical records, and finally is policy records. Next is type of records in organization. The type of record stored in HUSM Medical Record Center is called as medical records. Medical records are the document that explains all detail about the patient histories, clinical findings, diagnostic test results, pre- and post-operative care, patient progress, and the medication. This type of records can only be provided by the medical officer of the clinical department where the patient is receiving treatment. The example of the type of records are brief medical reports. So let me explain each of records types as subsection of this section. For the first one is medical report. That's comprehensive report, covers a person's clinical history. A medical report is a vital piece of evidence that can validate and support patient claim for Social Security disability benefits. And the last one is autopsy report. After postmortem, the pathologist writes a report of the findings. If the postmortem was requested by the coroner or coroner's officer will let patient or the family know the cause of death determined by the pathologist. If the patient wants a full copy of the pathologist's report, family members can request this from the coroner's office, but there may be a fee. And next is record management issues. Any issues in relation to improper records management practice. For the first one is lack of space. The lack of space in the buildings, meaning records are hard to keep and maintain. Some of the deterioration factors are acidity. Acidity is the quality of being acidic or sour. Acidity is the opposite of alkalinity or sweet. Acids contain high levels of positively charged hydrogen ions that can make paper fragile. And also lack of digitized records. HUSM goals is to go fully electronic, meaning that they are in a stage of getting rid of the traditional method of record keeping and wanting to go paperless.
Hello, I am Presentation Okt-Feb, 2020 and at 3131, and today I'm going to explain about a 6 step of implementing IRMP in organization as a guideline and subsections. Firstly, think about the future, and being open-minded also help leaders to remain resilient. They are able to find new opportunities that arise and face new challenges with joy. They help set expectation for continuous improvement. Secondly, explain the change when there is an opportunity for change. Leaders know how to explain this change to others. They can set context and talks to others about business reason for the change. They engage others in conversation, explain the long-term value of making difference, time to implement their plan. Third, acknowledge the loss. While there are solid business reasons to make a difference, big change leaders know that those infected by the change will have some problem. They understand that fear and resistance are natural reaction to change. Fourth, to create the climate. During the implementation of the change, there will be yearly adopters. People who are happy with the change. Successful leaders identify these important influences that support the change, and with the help of leader, this individual can help set a positive tone for a new change. Fifth, build a plan. Leaders set clear direction of change, how it will be achieved, and how its success will be measured. No aspect of implementation is left to chance. Leaders determine who, what, where, and when each step of change will take place. Develop a disaster recovery plan. Lastly, launch and sustain. Finally, once the changes are implemented, a leader must take continued adjustment and continue improvement. This helps people overcome obstacles and sustain change as part of the organization's new culture.
Next, the details and importance of each step, which will help the organization to achieve record management best practice. Although company record management is not a profit center, improper handling of records can result in penalties or financial litigation. In step 1, we need to be ready for change. A leader is someone which has a relative influence on the thinking and behavior of a group, their followers, directly. Step 2, explain the change. Change is a process of transformation from thoughts, methods, or approaches available to patterns, methods, and new approach. In step 3, acknowledge the loss. The changes made are not necessarily accepted by all. There are also shortcomings in the changes made that impact others. However, the acceptance of such shortcomings is very important. Step 4, We need to create the climate for employment because climate change and other forms of environmental degradation have had a new negative impact on employment and job productivity. Step 5. We need to build a plan because the planning process provides the information needed by top management to make effective decisions on how to allocate resources in a way that will be enable to the organization to achieve its objectives. Lastly, we need launch and sustain because, in many cases, product launch is just as important as the product itself. Bad product launches will confuse customers or not get any information at all, resulting in low sales. On the other hand, a successful product launch will result in new happy customers, more sales, and product gaining momentum, and when achieved, sustainable change help organizations move from constantly making effort to change to creating new and acceptable ways of doing business.
For a conclusion, since ERDMS apply an HUSM system for their record purpose, the advantage that one sees for the HUSM used to utilizing this framework is that there can be improvement of record-keeping society. In the other words, this best practice can be regulated to the entire of HUSM organization. In a nutshell, arranging and preparing a business is the key to making an arrangement and system usage that an organization can depend on for numerous years. Knowing the organization and enrolling individuals from different offices can help decide the most reasonable arrangement and methodology that can advance the maintenance of records that are genuine, evident, and trustworthy all through their life cycle. That's all from us. Thank you.